What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the PickSwap Media YouTube channel. My name is Sean Bernard as usual, and I'm excited to announce that for this video, we have partnered with WHOP.com, WHOP.com. WHOP is an all-in-one marketplace for sports communities and other digital products. If you're looking to find communities on all things sports, sports capping, sports betting, and sports fandom, head to WHOP.com/sports. They're the all-in-one digital marketplace, the Amazon of the future for digital products. I'm incredibly proud and excited to be partnering, so make sure to go check that out. You can click the link in our description and our comments. Thank you to WAP for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for tuning in.
The swing of his life! Hoskins answers. Kyle Schwarber tees off. On comes Castellanos. He lays out and makes the catch.
What is going on, everybody? We're back for another Double Switch podcast episode. Not much happening. Whole lot of nothing in terms of baseball news. I think the only thing Johnny and I even had to talk about was the scoreboard, which means, there's not much news coming out of Citizens Bank Park, especially now with the Eagles kind of taking over. Well-deserved. Quite the season. Reminds me a lot of a couple months ago in October. And we sure do have a good sports city here in Philadelphia, and it's just been a super good year for all of that stuff. But we are here today with a fun episode. We haven't done one of these in a while. 10-year anniversary of kind of the rebuild. It started in 2012, 2013, whatever you want to say. I mean, it was developing throughout those years when the core was kind of winding down. So we're going to take a look back at the worst players of the rebuild. And Johnny, I have a list here of players that if you were to make a Phillies highlight reel, there wouldn't be anything because there's nothing in these players' time here that's memorable. They were mainly stopgaps. Some of them were failed prospect type things, but it did not work out in Philadelphia at all. And in 20 years, I'm not going to remember any of my guys. I don't know about yours, but yeah, my list is rough.
Yeah, I'm also looking down at this piece of paper with 8 position players, and it hurts my head that I sat on my couch and purchased tickets to some of these games to watch these players play baseball. But, we're in the dead of winter. All we have to do is watch football, so least valuable players it is.
All right, let's start off with catcher because catcher's interesting. We had Chooch there for a lot of the early years. Then we went to Alfaro and JT. It's kind of the weird position where we didn't have a ton of issues. I chose to go with our backup catcher in 2014, Will Nieves. And that's a good one to start off. He put together a really rough year. 614 OPS. 771 OPS plus, and I couldn't tell you a single thing Will Nieves did in 2014. If I were to ask you what year he was on the team, would you have been able to tell me?
Yes, because he was my second option.
Oh, he was your second option. Oh man, who's your first option?
Well, I was juggling too, but I had to go with Eric Kratz.
Eric Kratz, yes, that's a good one.
And the thing about Eric Kratz is he wasn't really a backup. He was kind of our starter. Once we phased Chooch out, he was kind of our starter for a bit, and one of those guys that should have never, ever been more than a backup.
So was he the guy who went up without batting gloves every time? I feel like he was definitely that guy.
Yes, it was. I thought it was Cameron Rupp when I was thinking about it.
Yeah, I get those two mixed up. I feel like their frames and both right-handed bats were just no batting gloves. If you were to put both of those in front of me, I wouldn't be able to tell you which is which.
Nah, same dude.
Same dude. Just changed up names, and that's the catcher position. Pretty good way to start here, if you ask me. Let's move on to first base. You go first this time. We'll go back. We'll go back and forth with whoever goes first.
All right. My first base choice is his career had some value to it, but in Philly there was no value. Carlos Santana, the man, the myth, the legend, the man who bashes TVs.
The main thing I remember from Carlos Santana was, first off, he was a Clentac signing, which should automatically be a red flag.
Huge.
We threw big money at Carlos Santana for some reason, and we thought that Rhys Hoskins could play left field. We moved our big mashing first baseman to left field for Carlos Santana, and he proceeded to do nothing in his time in Philly. Anything you remember special he did besides smashing the TVs when they were playing video games?
Now he hated the young guys playing Fortnite. That's key in my head, and I remember him. I don't think his batting average ever went over 230 while he was with the Phillies.
Yeah, he got here and he just forgot how to hit. It was wild because he was so consistent before it got here, and then he left and he kind of figured it out again. Like he just hated it here, start to finish. It was a bad idea. It was just a bad idea, and that's something you just wipe your hands with, honestly.
Yeah, he did not fit this squad.
My first baseman, I could have gone a bunch of different ways here. I had Tommy Joseph down, but I ended up going with our I don't really even know what you'd call him. He was like Ryan Howard's recovery player. Hector Luna in 2012. I don't know why, but this guy just stuck out. He's like the opposite because I really remember him for some reason, and I don't remember anything he did because he had a 68 OPS plus. His OPS was also in the 600, 628, and yeah, he played 28 games and got 60 plate appearances when Ryan Howard was recovering from his injury, and that's kind of the extent of his tenure here.
It kind of looks like that was the extent of his baseball career after 2012.
Yeah, that was his way out. So he played in 2008. He got one at bat in 2008. He got 29 at bats in 2010. And then he got I don't know why the Phillies were calling this guy up because it had been like 5 years. Actually, even in 2017, he had like 40 at bats and batted 160. I have no idea how we settled on this guy as the best option, but we did. And he continued to not be good when he came over. I mean, I don't know like what they were expecting to happen.
Well, Ruben Amaro did think he was a visionary, and he was pretty bad at his job. That's why he's in the broadcast booth now and not in the front office.
He saw something in Hector Luna that nobody else saw, and he's still looking for it. But that's first base. Second base, I think you might have this one. Darnell Sweeney.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, Darnell Sweeney.
In the Jimmy Rollins trade, right?
Yeah, I was actually excited for Darnell Sweeney for a second there, but he came into the Phillies organization and he batted 170 over just about 100 plate appearances with a 639 OPS. And that was kind of it. I think he was the weird guy between not the weird guy, but he was in a weird spot between Chase and Cesar Hernandez. And he got 100 at bats and he did nothing with those 100 at bats. And then it looks like, that's kind of it for his career too, because he got 2 at bats in 2018, and that's kind of it. So, I did not work out for Darnell Sweeney here in Philadelphia or anywhere for that matter.
No, it certainly did not, but a promising one at one point when the trade happened.
Only when it happened, honestly.
Yeah. I looked at like minor league numbers at the time, and I was like, you know what, this could work.
Didn't work.
My choice, not so far back in the distant past, it is Scotty Kingery, Scotty Jetpacks, the man making $8 million this year.
You went that way with that. I wasn't sure where you were going to go with that, but sadly, unfortunately, that is as good of an answer as Darnell Sweeney, which is crazy to say.
And the crazy part is Scott Kingery could still try to make camp this year.
I was just about to ask you that. Do you think they're serious about giving him a shot at that last bench spot now?
I really think that's just something they have to say to. I don't know. I know I heard Scott Kingery got like shoulder surgery. I think that was something he was dealing with for a couple of years, but I don't see him turning it around. It just feels like whatever was there is gone.
Yes, it's really actually kind of sad when you think about it because he actually was like I was full in on Scott Kingery. I like how I'm like all in on Andy Painter right now. I was there with Scott Kingery at one point because
I think I was
he
too.
tore up the minors, and even in his first year, I don't have the stats here, but he wasn't that bad. I mean, a lot of swing and
No.
miss, but he forgot how to play baseball. And I don't even know whose fault it was. Whose fault do you think it is? Ours or his?
He tried to remember changed his swing approach.
More home
He
runs,
tried
right?
to adopt like a power approach, and that kind of threw him off. And he tried to switch back, and he just kind of couldn't. I don't know who was in charge of that, if it was him or the team, but that is definitely what did it.
It's a shame.
Yeah, in his like longest season with the Phillies, his best season, he hit 258 with a 100 WRC plus.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really annoying too because we're still paying him, and we kind of threw in all the chips with giving him a contract when he was like 22, and I guess that's the lesson there is don't do that no matter how sure of a thing you think you have. You never really know, but he got married recently, so that's good for
Hey,
Scotty.
congrats, Scott.
I'm glad he's
Scott, if you want to come on the podcast, we could hash it out.
I'm sure he's probably enjoying his life away from baseball quite a bit. He's got a ton of money and he doesn't really have to play that often because he just, he plays for a couple months that the Iron Pigs play and then he gets to go home. So he's kind of making out.
Yeah, season ends in September. That's nice.
Third base. This guy sticks out too. I don't know why, but Ty Wigginton, another 2012 product. And I think that he shared some of the first base with Hector Luna. And I mean, another guy who came in, he actually had a nice career. Looking at it now, he hit like 170 home runs, but he came here and he batted 230 with the 680 OPS and just couldn't fill the shoes of Ryan Howard. I think that's probably why I was so frustrated because, I was so used to Ryan Howard hitting 45 home runs every year, and then I get Hector Luna and Ty Wigginton, and I was not happy. Just not happy overall.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time remembering Ty Wigginton's face. And honestly, everything about him. What year was that? 2013?
2012. Great year. Not for the Phillies, but great year.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, I went a little bit of a different route, more of a household name with the team for, I think it was the 2013 to 2016 range. Cody Ashe.
He might be the all-star of our least valuable team, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, he had one of those trajectories where like he came up and it was like ascending player, and then he posted like 3 straight negative WAR seasons with the Phillies before moving on to the White Sox and having like a -2 WAR season.
Yeah, that one kind of hurt a little bit because I really felt pretty good about Cody Ashe too.
Cody Ashe kind of just kind of embodies the whole the pain of the decline from 2013 to 2016. Things were really, really ugly, and like the team was still telling us that we were retooling. Like the Phillies didn't adopt like that the rebuild culture. They had the retooling culture at that point, and we thought Cody Ashe might be that guy. He wasn't.
Yeah, I remember. I can picture him in my head too. He was a lefty bat. Apparently, he's a pretty good baseball mind because I think the Orioles just signed him to be a coach.
Huh.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Best of luck.
Yeah, it's crazy that all these guys are like coaches and post baseball careers now. But yeah, I thought he was going to help anchor the offense and anchor, the team. And just another disappointment. And if you're putting together a team, he's probably up there towards like the top in terms of the faces of the failed rebuild.
Yeah.
But no, I hear you with Cody Ashe. So I know our list. We can't follow basic directions. I forgot shortstop, and I know you didn't do the pitching staff. So do you want to fill in for your shortstop real quick? Because
I think I got one that can kind of
cover for us.
Cover this one. Yeah, from 2014 to 2017, kind of our utility guy, but his most played position was shortstop. It's Andres Blanco. Yes, he was on the Phillies for 4 seasons.
Man, 4 seasons?
Yeah. I was looking at that with 4 eyes. I was like, how did they let this guy that swings a wet noodle be like an everyday position player for 4 years? And
He's got to be an NPC. He's a non-player character because I don't remember him. I don't think he did anything. I don't think he said anything in his 4 years here. I definitely don't remember any news with Andres Blanco. Nothing like that. He just spawned, and then we get another shortstop, and he just there he goes.
I looked him up, his fan graphs earlier, and I saw him in a Phillies uniform. Like, nah, that's Photoshop.
Nope,
that doesn't feel real.
Oh God. Yeah, no, he's not a real person, but he's our shortstop. So I guess he's our representative on the team.
Nice.
Good choice because he's very irrelevant. Left field. This guy did one thing in his year here, and you're going to know exactly what it is when I say it. Tyler Goodell.
Oh, I love Tyler Goodell.
The one thing that he did, do you remember his outfield assist?
I do.
Honestly, that might be the only thing I remember from 2013 to 2018. That's all he did in his 1 year here. I don't remember anything else. I don't even know how long he was on the team, but he did have a really nice outfield assist, and it was probably the highlight of 2016.
I think the one thing I remember about Tyler Goodell is that he was a Rule 5 draft pick.
That sounds right, yeah.
Yeah, I think he was a Rule 5 draft pick. That's why he was just here for that one weird year. It was 1 year, right?
Yeah, it was just 1 year. I guess he was done after that, or I guess we didn't. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. Who knows?
He's just gone. He's with Andres Blanco.
Yeah, he's probably playing over in Korea.
Yeah.
Those guys make a great living over there these days. Like our boy Tommy Joseph's making a great living over there.
I'm sure they do because MLB is a little too good for most of these guys, so they got to find a little downgrade.
Yeah. This one hurts. It almost feels like cheating because I know you're doing players that have had more than 50 plate appearances or games.
Yeah.
This one was more I think he was 36 games with the Phillies, but Jose Bautista, 2018.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Wow.
That was a really ugly time to be a Phillies fan. What
did we even get him for?
I think he was with the Mets the year before. I think he was just on his downfall. I think they were designated him for assignment because I'm pretty sure that was his last year playing baseball too, professionally.
He's a name that it's crazy because he's one of those guys that he was such a big part of the game, but you just kind of forget about.
I got something on him.
Yeah.
I got a nugget. This offseason, he was working out as a pitcher.
What?
Yeah. Joey Bats, 42-year-old Joey Bats might try to make a return as a starting pitcher or something.
He had a cannon when he was
he did.
30. I don't know how his arm's aging, but he had a cannon.
Maybe Father Time is helping his arm.
2018 was the year where we were kind of in it, but we clearly weren't good enough, right? That was that year?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And we thought.
So I think we tried to add players that were kind of Jose Bautista. Maybe he'd take us over the top.
I remember Jose Bautista. He was a monster in 2016. And he was a free agent, and he's I want $150 million. And the Blue Jays are no, we're not giving you $150 million. And he's fine, I'll test the free agent market. And he tested the free agent market, and nobody was going to give him $150 million. Nobody wanted to give him that money. He eventually took I think he took a 1-year deal, and he was terrible. He fell off a cliff. And the Blue Jays, if they gave him $150 million, that team that they have now does not look like that team because that would have been a disaster. They probably just would have got done paying him because he won 6 years. That's insane.
Yeah, that would have been absolutely nuts because if I'm doing my math correctly, he would have been 36 then.
Yeah.
You're right. His contract would have been ending right now.
No, they should be so grateful they did not even consider that.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
But that was Jose Bautista. Center field. This is a name that brings it back to the pre-2010s because I thought this guy was a monster, and I thought he was going to be like best player in the game. Grady Sizemore, man, he was good with the Indians, and then we got him, and he wasn't very good, but yeah, I mean, I thought he had it. I thought he had whatever like he needed to be really good, and it never worked out in Philadelphia. He 657 OPS, man, brutal stuff. And this is coming off 2006 when he was at his peak, where he batted 290, 53 doubles, 28 home runs, 900 OPS. Yeah, he was just one of those guys where the knife was falling, and we tried to like catch it. And it was clear that he is not the player that he used to be. And it felt like there were a lot of these things where we would just try to recapture some of the magic in these players, and it never happened. It didn't happen with any of them. And he is just a prime example of that.
Yeah, that I wanted Grady Sizemore to really succeed in Philly too. That one hurt actually a little more than some of these other ones because I really thought he could have been that. Because what year do we have him?
It looks like we traded for him in 2014 and then traded him away in 2015, I think.
Yeah, I think that was probably when I was at the time where I was looking for anything positive and hoping he could be that. Damn, what a Grady Sizemore is one of those what ifs. I mean, his career could have went a whole different direction.
Yeah, he lost his legs. He had 3 straight All-Star games, 4 straight top 25 MVP finishes. And he had an 830 OPS in Cleveland through 8 years. The guy was good in Cleveland, but his health gave out, and we got him when he was just a shell of his former self.
Yeah, him and David Wright, they both got robbed.
Yeah, it's a shame. And Troy Tulowitzki.
Yeah, all 3 of those guys. They could have been in Hall of Famers, but they got hurt.
Yep, it's sad.
Okay, that was for center field, yeah?
Yes, center field.
Okay, I have John Mayberry Jr., longtime Philly, actually. Really wasn't ever the best player. We had him from 2009 to 2014, and he never had like a major league season where he really hit over like 245. Was not a very good defender. Ruben Amaro was the one who made the trade for him. He flipped him from some guy I never heard of. And, I really kind of was stumped for this one. But Grady Sizemore was definitely a better one than this.
So John Mayberry, I just remember in like 2011, 2012, all I could hear is about how so much potential he has. And he kind of embodies you remember in 2011 when we had the rotation, the rotation. Yeah. And that team would just go on these periods and stretches of time where it couldn't hit at all. And, we got to the playoffs and, we couldn't hit at all. And that's why we lost. He just is like the face of that for me. He symbolizes all of the problems that team had. He's the reason we had to go out and get Hunter Pence that year.
He is the reason. I almost forgot about that.
If him and Dom Brown worked out and that could actually hit, that 2011 team, if those 2 players met our expectations for what we thought they could do, that 2011 team probably would have won the World Series.
John Mayberry had a good 2011 though.
Did he? Let me hear the 2011 stats.
Okay. Yeah, because this is where I got a little conflicted about Mayberry because his 2011 was a good year. He hit 273. He had 104 games to start off. 273 average, 341 OBP, 513 slugging, with 15 home runs and 50 RBIs, and only a 18% strikeout rate, which kind of shocked me. And it's a 2.2 WAR, but then every other year. Actually did not surpass 245 average or 300 OBP. So he fell apart.
I guess, yeah, I guess the picture I have in my head is of those 2012 and 2013 teams with the aging core where, we needed the young guys to step up. Um, I guess, yeah, I owe John Mayberry an apology for 2011. I guess it wasn't his fault. But yeah, no, definitely a failed tenure nonetheless. Could have gone
Yeah.
really well and it didn't. So that's John Mayberry. Right field. I gotta get one for right field.
Dude, I like this one too. This one was tough for me because he played right and center, but you go first.
We have the same guy.
We do? Yeah,
we
definitely
must. Peter Borges.
Peter Borges.
Peter Borges. I knew it. 2016. Jeez. Peter Borges, man. 680 OPS, 81 OPS plus, and he got a ton of at-bats. He got 350 at-bats. And
shit.
Just forgettable, just very forgettable player.
That guy sucked.
Yeah, and he was in his prime. He was 29 in Philly playing right field, and man, we could not get any of the talent out of that guy. We made that guy like he did not get any better here in Philadelphia. It didn't work. Just didn't work.
Now that's a guy that has to be playing in the Korean Baseball League right now.
So 2019, I don't know if I can see that on this baseball reference page. 2019, he actually had a job with the Angels, which is surprising enough after his dreadful Phillies tenure.
Yeah. Well, or his dreadful first 4 years with the Angels. They wanted him back.
Man, I remember when they had Mike Trout. They had Peter Borges out there with him, and those two got talked about together like they should even be in the same tier.
They were talked about in the same breath at one point.
Yeah, and I don't know who was listening to that other than I guess Matt Klentak in 2016, because he never put it together.
Yeah. Connection I just put together right here. Matt Klentak was with the Angels at the same time.
Oh man, dude, he came over and he's like, guys, I got this great idea.
This guy's better than Trout.
Let's get Peter Borges. He's sucked so far in his career, but we can make him good. And yeah, we did. He has a career 669 OPS, and he had a 681 OPS in Philly. Didn't get anything out of that guy. But we gave him every opportunity, and
a lot.
Now he's gone.
Yeah.
Now he's gone.
Yeah,
all right. I have 5 pitchers here. I know you don't have pitchers. I'll run through them. You just give me a nod if you agree.
Okay.
I got 5 here. Starting off 2013, 2014, Jonathan Pettibone. 2014, 2015. 2014 was a rough year because half these guys were on the team in 2014. Jerome Williams needs to be on there.
Jerome Williams needs to be on there.
Yeah, he had to be on here. I had to squeeze him in there. I think Sean O'Sullivan deserves a spot. I don't have his stats here, but pretty terrible in his time in Philadelphia. Yeah. I'm sure I don't have to convince you of that. But those 3 started off. I have 2 kind of failed prospects here. Jake Thompson, man. I remember the Jake Thompson days, and I thought that he was going to be our ace for years to come, 2016 through 2018, and that was it. That was Jake Thompson.
That was from the Nick Willie or the Cole Hamels trade.
Yeah. Wow. He was a big pitcher. He was a big pitcher in that deal. He was supposed to be like the face of that deal. And it didn't work.
It was.
Yeah, it was. And then to round it out, Ben Lively. I don't remember much about him.
I do.
Do you?
Yeah, we got him from the Reds.
What do you remember about Ben Lively?
He threw a very mild 92 to 94 mile per hour fastball and gave up so many home runs. I remember that being an issue, a large issue. While we're going, I can actually spit off an irrelevant guy now that we're down memory lane. Brett Oberholzer.
Cole Hamels trade?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Cole Hamels to the Rangers. We got a ton of useless players in that trade.
Matt
Harrison.
They threw Matt Harrison upon us though.
Yeah, they were begging us to take him.
Alec Asher.
He went to the Orioles.
And he got suspended.
Jesus. We could have made 2 staffs with the useless arms we had here. Let me run through these ERAs real quick, just to show you like how mediocre. Jake Thompson 487 in Philadelphia. Ben Lively with a 481.
Nice.
Sean O'Sullivan with a 6.13 ERA
Nice.
in 2 years. He had a 6.39 in his first year, and then he came back and we gave him 70 more innings, and he had a 6.08. We had nobody better to throw out there than Sean O'Sullivan. The guy was throwing up a 6 ERA, and we had nothing better. That's insane.
Yeah, that's really bad.
Jerome Williams with a 4.84, and then Jonathan Pettibone to round it out. Oh, man, it took me to his minor league overview because his MLB career was so short.
Man, I would even throw Jared Eichhoff in that mix, even though he's still in the majors.
I saw Jared Eichhoff, and then I saw his what was his first year in the majors? 2017.
Yeah,
that was a good year.
It was a good year. He actually could sling a curveball like no other.
Yeah, he threw up 180 innings of like mid-threes baseball, and I would have easily been fooled into thinking that this guy's a major league pitcher. He looked good that year.
Doing this episode has really made me realize the Phillies are like the kings of finding like fool's gold, like a player that's good for like a season and a half, and then like just long enough to like think he's like the future, and then he just ends up being absolutely terrible.
Sounds like Jake Arrieta, honestly.
It does sound a lot like Jake Arrieta. Sounds like Maikel Franco.
Yeah, no, it said there's a whole list of people who, man, they just get to the team, and every ounce of potential you thought they had, it's not there anymore, and it sucked. Right. It sucked for 10 years.
Yeah, I got a question for you. Closing remarks. I think we have to pick one player from this episode who we would think is the least valuable player of the decade.
Least valuable, who would hurt the team the most, I'd imagine, is where you're going with this.
Yes.
I think the
king of them all.
Man, I don't know why. I'm going to Darnell Sweeney here. Because he assembled like a minus 0.4 WAR in like 100 at bats, so he was on pace to have a terrible season. I think though I gotta go Sean O'Sullivan with his 6 ERA. Man, if you throw a pitcher out there who has a 6 ERA for 200 innings and you put him in our staff, this team is probably going to win 70 games. He would be a disaster to this team and any team really with his 6 ERA.
Yeah, that guy was not a major league player whatsoever, and someone should have told the Phillies about it because they clearly had zero idea.
Yeah, no, he was terrible. Who's your pick? Your final pick?
Man, I just gotta stick with Cody Asche. I think he embodies this whole episode. I think Cody Asche was fool's gold.
Yeah, no, I hear you with that. Honorable mentions, we have roll off some names. J.P. Crawford could have easily been on here. Tommy Joseph, like I said. Darren Ruff, who is actually good now, which is weird. Cameron Rupp is another one. There's a bunch of names here. I mean, we could have thrown Dominic Brown on here.
We didn't even go into the bullpen. That would have
no, we're not doing
chaos.
That. No, the
chaos.
Bullpen. The bullpen. They didn't get anybody out in 10 years. We could when we actually got good. Like the team actually got good. It took us a couple years to shake off the bad bullpen. Like we were still trying to figure that out long into like the rebuild being over. That's how messed up our bullpen became. But yeah, that's what we got. That's the all failed rebuild highlight reel, I guess we call it. And it's ugly, but great news. Trivia time is back. Trivia time.
Hey. Nice.
Where's our we get the music.
Oh shoot, dude. Wait, you're hosting now though.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not even remember.
Yeah. Oh Jesus, this is rough here. I don't even know how to do the music. All right. Anyway, yeah, we'll figure that out later. Do you remember the score?
Now we're resetting. It's a new year.
Resetting. Yeah, we're resetting. 0-0. I barely remember how to keep score, but I have three questions. Okay, and let's just get into it. 2008 Phillies had a ton of really good players. Who on the 2008 Phillies has the highest career WAR? Do you want to talk it out a little bit, or are you just gonna think in silence here?
Is that how it works?
I don't know.
Are you giving me choices, or we're not doing that?
We're not doing that. You get one. There's only one guy at the top. You can guess him.
I was hoping for like a multiple choice, but I'm gonna go with Jimmy Rollins.
It is not Jimmy Rollins. That's a good guess.
Was it the other middle infielder?
It was Chase Utley.
Yeah,
Jimmy Rollins, I want to say, was third actually, because
behind Ryan.
Cole Hamels ended up putting together a really good career.
That's a good point. Very long career.
Yeah, he right now on Baseball Reference, Chase Utley's 64.5. I believe Cole Hamels is 59.5. And then Jimmy Rollins is actually down near 40, which is a big gap. And yeah, man, I saw a graphic, and it was the WAR leaders from like 2008 to 2012, and it was Albert Pujols 1, Miguel Cabrera 3, Adrian Beltre 4, and Chase Utley was 2. And it's really come into perspective like how good he actually was, because he was good at every part of the game. And yeah, he was probably the best player on that team, which is crazy to say.
He was, yeah. People forget.
All right, second question. 2023 Phillies had 6 players making over $20 million. Can you name them all?
Should be able to. J2 or Muto.
Check.
Bryce Harper.
Check.
Trey Turner.
Check.
Nick Castellanos.
Yep, number 5.
Wait, that was number 5?
No, he's 5th on the list. That was number 4. It was your 4th guess.
Oh, okay. Zach Wheeler.
He's number 3.
Oh, wait, so how many do I have left?
You have so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you have number 6, and you have 1 left.
I think it's Schwarber.
It is Schwarber. Yeah, Schwarber's making 20 mil.
Okay.
I thought you were going to go Nola there.
No, Nola makes like 15.
Yeah, Nola's a steal. But yeah, Schwarber 20 million, Cassie at 20 million, and then everybody else is north of 23. So that's the payroll. Quick bonus question: who do you think's making the most? This is a bonus question. Bonus question. This isn't one of my questions.
I think it's Trey Turner.
Or maybe it should be one of my questions.
It's Trey Turner.
No, it's tricky because we're still paying Bryce his signing bonus. So yeah, so in terms of like actual payroll, like who's getting the most money, it's Bryce. But for the base salary, it's Trey Turner.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Wait, that was only 2 questions though. Or I guess that would be the third.
I have a more complicated question. I don't know if I just want to. I think I should probably just give you say you got 1 out of 3, because this last one kind of want to.
Let me try.
It's hard. It's a really hard question.
Say it. I'm good. I'm real good.
Okay. All right. So you have 3 strikes. You get 3 wrong answers, and you're out.
All right.
The 2022 Phillies were 16th in baseball in attendance. 10 NL teams were ahead of them, which is actually mind-numbing when you think about it, how we were that good and like we had that much success and we were 16th. Can you name those 10 NL teams ahead of us without getting more than last year?
Okay.
Without getting more than 3 incorrect.
All right. How many do I have to name? All 10 without. Okay.
Wait. So wait. This is easy.
This is easy.
Yeah, because there's only 14 possible guesses.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got it. Yeah, this should be a slam dunk. If you mess this up, yeah, terrible.
You made the question, dude.
Yeah, no, this is terrible. I should have just done like one strike, but it's fine. Just go ahead.
All right. Well, the Cardinals for sure.
Number 2.
Probably the Cubs too.
Cubbies, number 9.
Yeah, and then probably the Brewers.
Brewers are number 14, correct?
And then no one else in there.
Be cool if you could get them without messing up. That'd be really nice.
Yeah, I'll try to do that. And then I will say the Dodgers.
Dodgers number 1.
And then the Padres.
Padres are number 5.
And then probably the Giants as well.
Yeah, Giants are number 12.
Yeah, kind of close.
Three left, right?
Yeah. And then I know the Braves.
Braves are number 4.
And I'm pretty sure the Mets were above us.
Mets are 11, and you have 1 left.
I have 1 left. I don't want to blow it now. Oh, but I'm kind of stumped. I forgot one in one of these divisions, didn't I?
Yeah, see, I guess you have 4 teams, and you have 4 teams left and 3 strikes still to give. So, yeah, I mean.
I could just fire away, but I want to be pretty accurate here.
All right.
Well, all right. I'm gonna say it's the Diamondbacks.
No, it's not. The Diamondbacks came in 21st.
All right.
1 strike.
That's checked off. And now I only have Pirates, Reds, Nationals, Marlins, and the Rockies left. I have 5 left.
I don't understand my math here, but you're right.
It's one of those teams, and I'm going to say it's the Reds.
It's not the Reds.
Dang it.
The Reds are 23. So you got 1 guess.
Okay. Well, just tell me it's not the NL East.
I can't tell you that because then it's going to give it away.
No, that's true. You can't. Oh, well, it's not. I'm down to Rockies, Pirates, Nationals, and Marlins.
Yeah, so who's it gonna be?
I don't think anyone shows up to Coors Field anymore, so I'm gonna cancel them out. The Marlins, I've watched those games. That's embarrassing. The Pirates at least have a fan base, and I guess DC is a fan base. I guess I'll go Pittsburgh.
Third
strike.
You lost this question. The Colorado Rockies
really
2.6 million fans in 2022.
I guess
I don't know where they were.
Where were
they're like up here too. Like they're ahead of the Mets, the Giants.
What?
Yeah, they're 10th.
I guess you need something to do.
Fans. I guess so.
Yeah, when there's no skiing, I guess. Dang.
Pittsburgh's 27th.
Yeah.
Miami is terrible at 29th.
Nah, I would have never guessed them or the Nationals.
Yeah, the Nationals actually somehow are right below the Phillies at 17. How do you feel about that 16th number? Because it's kind of a disappointing number. I was disappointed when I saw this.
I mean, we had a tough beginning to the year. There was some doubt for a little bit. You know how Philly is. You got to win Philly over.
Yeah, I just don't understand how, there's some teams that were just miserable this year ahead of us, like the Rockies and the Cubs. Like what? Like,
yeah, but the Cubs have that. Cubs have that culture with like season tickets where people have had them for like decades.
Yeah, you're right, I guess. But still, I hope that number's a little more near like the.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I bet you spring training goes crazy this year too. I think it's gonna be nuts down there after the World Series.
Yeah, I guess you'll be able to let us know. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to get one of our Phillies on the podcast while I'm down there. Everyone wish me luck.
Go to the field and just start bothering them. I'm sure someone will give in eventually.
Yeah, one of them will.
Alrighty. Well, you got 1 out of 3, so we'll see how this goes next week
All right,
with
I'll write that down.
round 2 for 2023. And this episode ended up being way longer than I thought it was going to be. Because it's fun to not just talk news. It's fun to do stuff like this. So we'll try to do this more often. And then spring training right around the corner, a couple of weeks, which is weird because usually winters are a lot longer. But I guess, the World Series will shorten your winter. But with that being said, thank you guys for listening. If you're an Eagles fan, go check out Flying in Style and the rest of Pick Swap Media because they have some awesome material coming out about the other Philly sports. And before you know it, the Phillies will be the only team playing, and we'll be back. Phillies will be back right around the corner. Got anything else?
Nah, yeah. Also, go check out the Pick Swap Pod. The Sixers are playing some good basketball lately. And, go Phils. I wish pitchers and catchers was sooner than it is, but we're going to have to wait a couple more weeks.
Almost over. Winter's almost over, but we will talk to you guys soon. Take care.
Lights at the end of the tunnel.